Many people used to live plain but steady lives. Plenty to eat, sound sleep, and the occasional little surprise for the family. The moment you set foot in a casino, it's as if someone hit fast forward. Money burns faster, pulses pound harder, and when you look back, that straight path you'd walk twists into a snarl. The first time you shove chips onto the felt, your palm is damp, but you keep what you think is a rakish grin. You believe you're only here for a thrill. The dealer's motions are hypnotic. Lights, music, and the clack of chips all drum a beat for your dopamine. Win the first hand and you're sure the world favors you. Lose it and you tell yourself luck will swing back. Either way, the hook is already set. Next comes the so-called warm-up phase. You slip in and out of games with small, disposable cash, win and you treat yourself to a good meal. Lose and shrug it off as entertainment spending. Feels light, but it's deadly because it blurs the harm. Your pockets still have dollars. Life hasn't tipped yet, so your subconscious keeps finding reasons. Relaxation, networking, proving your luck, proving yourself. The real turn is that one big pop. Maybe you hit a payout worth several or even a dozen times your stake, or a dazzling streak of wins. That brief, violent high gouges a groove in your brain. Money can come this fast. You start believing you have a gift. Thumbing through playbooks, studying odds, drafting precision bankroll plans. You don't see that every rule in the house has been run a billion times, enough to crash any personal system. As the stakes rise, emotions climb onto a roller coaster. When you win, you act the savior, treating, gifting, splurging like you're cashing in the future. When you lose, you go silent, fists wrap the table, and you'd rewind the clock if you could. Family and friends notice first. You snap, have no patience for small talk, care only about the next hand. Their concern can't breach the wall of hormones and dopamine. Debt seedlings sprout unnoticed. You tap credit cards, consumer loans, even juggle from one loved one to the next. Each IOU is signed just this once. Pay it back when I bounce. The bounce is always the next hand. Late at night with the calculator open, the total stuns you. Your chest feels crushed. Yet you're still scripting a one-night comeback in your mind. By now, gambling has rewired your reward circuit. Where ordinary folks find joy in a home-cooked meal or a movie, you need the roulette wheels whir and the blood pressure spike as cards hit the felt. Everything else dims. Food tastes bland, sunlight glares, affection becomes a roadblock between you and the pit. So you learn to hide. You look calm at work while betting from your desk. Claim you're entertaining clients but hunker in a smoky back room. Tell your parents you're working late, yet sit glued to an electronic wheel. Lies stack into a tower until it blocks the view of yourself. When debt punches through your mental line, the collapse floods in. You fear every phone call, your account shows only a few $dozen. And when friends suggest a weekend dinner, your first thought is, how much will my share cost? Followed by hunting excuses to skip. Your circle drifts off. You wrap yourself in cheap takeout, staring at glowing numbers. Human tolerance is terrifying. You thought you'd break under a few $1,000. But soon you wander numb among debts of tens or even hundreds of thousands, indifferent to the zeros after six figures. Each raise looks impulsive but is really a trained reflex. Only a bigger hole fills the last hole. The digger is digging his own grave, yet the shovel won't stop. The crash often comes on an unremarkable night. Maybe a string of disasters at the table, maybe a loan you counted on suddenly denied. Your credit implodes, your phone number flags, high risk. Your profile photo vanishes from family chats. The world seems to shrink. You hide in a strange city's corner, as if exiled. At this stage, two forks appear. Most go left into a deeper abyss, chasing a last chance. They cheat, steal, even break the law. The net is wide, the cost brutal. But under a fog of despair, they see only a tunnel glowing green. That door opens to hell. A few veer right into painful awakening. It isn't a romantic epiphany, but the dull crack of a bone. You grasp that one more step means certain death. Then you do something that seems small but is monumental, confess. Maybe a call to mom, maybe an email to an old friend. You admit the debt, the lies, the edge of collapse, and beg a hand. When you tear off the last veil, the sunlight can reach you. Don't expect instant forgiveness. Emotional tabs, like money tabs, need installments. You'll face cold stares, refusals, suspicion. Accept them as part of rehab. Broken trust heals like a fracture. painfully. Up at 6, take the dirtiest job. Hand your pay card to someone you trust. Post the debt sheet on the wall, crossing off each line slowly but measurably to prove you're salvageable. The psychological withdrawal is tougher than the money hole. Quitting isn't just deleting an app, that's hiding the cigarettes in a drawer. The true test is the bodily void. Dopamine supply chains severed leave you jittery, sleepless, heartbeat out of sync, flu weak. You have to grit through the vacuum, laying new neural tracks with sweat, runs, books, conversations. Memories at rock bottom are vivid. Each knock by a creditor, each sobbing relative, high contrast frames burned in your brain. Don't erase them, they're why you stay awake and iron chains against a relapse. Learn to stare at your own mess instead of ducking behind a pile of chips. Slowly you'll find joy without neon felt. The day you zero a credit card balance. The first call to mom where she doesn't cry. A Sunday hike, gulping wind on a ridge. Those modest moments replace gambling's brief, fake climaxes. Outsiders love to say a recovering gambler got lucky. They don't know the luck was bought with uncounted nights. Real success isn't stepping onto a podium in a blizzard of confetti. It's the posture of discipline when no one's looking, walking past a lottery kiosk without a glance, carrying no more than $200 cash, playing the simplest games for fun. You treat yourself like a chronic patient, lifelong meds, regular checkups. Can you keep a healthy relationship with money afterward? Yes, but only by relearning what money is. Money isn't chips, a number game, or fate's scepter. It's a scorecard you trade time and talent for. Treat it honestly and it builds your safety net. See it as a friend, not a weapon, and you won't feel murderous greed again. Remember, relapse triggers never vanish. Marital fights, job setbacks, a sudden illness. Any high-pressure scene may whisper, "One lucky hand." Keep the alarm on forever. When that thought flickers, report it to someone you trust. Speak the secret aloud and it loses its power. Casinos dress up as social clubs. Free drinks, music, laughter. Like a wedding dance floor where everyone looks joyous. That volume hides the sobs. What you don't see is the gambler at 3 a.m. ripping tickets in a stall, the man on the stairs lying to his wife, the pensioner on a cane ready to bet his nest egg. The world always shows the part it wants you to see. The cruelest truth is the house never gambles. Provides the stage, sells tickets. Every move you make is embedded in its profit model. Your frenzy stabilizes its returns. It's an uneven match, your life for its margin, your love for its bankroll. You can't afford to lose, can't stop winning. People say life's one big gamble, but seasoned players know it's more like no-limit Texas Hold'em. You can play tight, fold, even leave the table. Don't let go big or go home hustle you. Youthful bravado is cheap. As an adult, you price that bravado, then decide if you can pay. If you're still seated at a table, maybe even betting as you read, stop 10 seconds. Turn your palms up, study the lines, given by your parents, held by your partner, future guides for your kids' hands. If those lines fill with sweat and fear, how will you hug them? Chips are cold, your palms hot, you're alive, and living means you can switch tracks. Now about systems. Talk of mindset hacks, martingale doubles, probability tracking. Over the casino's long run, their jokes. The dealer uses math, you use gut. Gut gets steamrolled by math. Don't mistake cleverness for science, that's self-flattery. Real smarts admit you can't beat the law of large numbers. If you're a bystander with someone hooked, the best help is direction, not cash. Handing money to a gambler is handing booze to an alcoholic. Go with them to counseling, jogging, cooking, so the brain relearns dopamine comes from outside the pit too. Heal the body before patching the hole. How do you know you're fully cured? The harsh answer, never. An addicted brain runs bad code forever. You keep it stable by constant patches. Slack off and the bug relaunches. Learn to coexist, not daydream a cure. Make discipline your breathing, self-reflection your calendar entry. Years later, when you finally stash that first chunk of capital, you'll want money less. You know it's just a magnifier, it makes toxic desires more toxic. And kindness bigger. You've been enslaved by it. Now you aim to master it. Money inhales in the account. You exhale out in the world, each minding its own waterline. Next you may try helping others. Help isn't paying their debts. It's sharing the roadmap so they skip the traps. Telling your collapse and rise story isn't shameful. Your honest scar becomes someone else's armor. If one person turns back, you've quietly banked virtue and eased your own memories. Life's curriculum spans more than quitting gambling. Quitting just drags your lifeline from negatives to zero. Survival, growth, and meaning follow. But now you hold a priceless asset. A heart smashed and glued back together, knowing fragility and strength. Love, work, and create with it. Solid ground beats million-dollar emptiness. Remember, the world judges not by wins or losses, but by how you stand back up. The slower you rise, the harder the pain, the clearer the pit for those behind you. You say you're mud-stained, so are spring flowers before they bloom. Pack the mud into bricks, stack them, and you'll raise a tower you never imagined. One more word to the wavering. Don't get sentimental with probability. It has no feelings. The casino won't love you, money won't hate you. What shares your blood is your partner's sigh at midnight, your parents' new gray hairs, your child's hand reaching for yours. If you must wager, bet on a life without another bet. Lay down your full will and win back a whole self. That brings us to the twin illusions, the hot hand effect and the gambler's fallacy. After a few wins, you're sure you're on fire and raise the stakes. After a losing streak, you're sure a win is due and raise them again. Both beliefs chain you to the felt. One says you're special, the other that the universe owes you fairness. The universe owes no one. Statistics is the only judge. The reward engine here is variable interval reinforcement. The next treat drops unpredictably, so you never know when. Lab rats hammer levers for it. Grown-ups endlessly refresh betting screens. You think you control chance. You're a wave-smashing rock, powerless against the next surge. Online platforms have moved the pit into your phone. Algorithms know your patterns, even flash coupons the second a relapse idea sparks. More covert, more relentless, armed with big data. Never trust. I quit but left notifications on. You're wiring a time bomb. Gambling drains time as well as cash. Spend those all-night marathons learning a skill. Even slow progress over years can earn a promotion or career change. The table steals silent, link by link, every fork where life could have flourished. The steepest bet is not cash but time. Relationships rarely blow apart. They seep away. Break a promise, your partner closes the door a bit. Keep breaking and she falls silent. Silence cuts deeper than tears. Kids may be small, but memory is wet clay. Every print leaves shape. Years on, they won't trust promises without knowing why. The reason's name is you. I once met an old father handing over his last retirement dollars to clear his son's debt. I'm not saving him, he said. Just buying him one more chance before I go. The deposit slip trembled like pressing his remaining years onto the felt. He didn't know if the son won't self-rescue, that chance just becomes another chip. Another mother taped her son's IOUs to the fridge, reading them each time she opened it so she wouldn't soften. I fear next time it'll be his wife and child crying. Many families crack not over money itself but over the numbness bred by repeated disappointment. Money can be re-earned. Trust rarely regrows. Scholars count the social cost. One addicted gambler drags 6 to 10 close people into the mess. Debt chains, emotional strain, even legal costs. What looks like a personal choice makes your clan, community, and public resources pay. Picture life as an exam. Midway, some gamblers rip up their paper for a juicier challenge. But the questions stay harder now. Paying debt merely tapes the sheet back, creased and smudged. Rewriting takes double work. Don't romanticize starting over. It's heavy labor, not poetry. Understanding why you crave the pit cuts deeper than quitting the act. Some gamble for vanity, some for loneliness, some for fury at fate. Trace that underground river, seal the leak, and the root withers. Otherwise the flow just shifts to booze, affairs, reckless investing, same poison, new bottle. On that road, journaling is medicine. Log each mood swing, each urge, each successful resist. 3 months later, you hold your own user manual. Gambling was routine. Now tracking and reflection is. Harness behavioral science for yourself. When you earn sweat money, you feel its weight. A day hauling bricks for $300 keeps you from tossing $300 on baccarat. Muscle ache teaches better than sermons. Labor sweat is the antidote, bitter, but cures. When the last red line is crossed, you might not weep with joy. More likely you sit, bone-tired, with a vast silence inside. That is the tidal flat after addiction ebbs. Don't rush to fill it. Let the sea breeze blow in new possibilities. Study, travel, cooking slow soup with family. Real life moves slow. Only then do you see its depth. I asked a wise mentor how he views gamblers' suffering. Bitter, like sugar, cloys if taken too long. Taste enough, you'll spit it out, he said. I don't urge tasting bitterness, but if you have, don't waste it. Boil it into mercy for others and calm for yourself. If you're still debating, never romance probability. Probability remembers no favors. The casino won't love you, money won't hate you. The breath that binds to you is your partner's midnight sigh, your parents' new silver hairs, your child's reaching hand. If you must gamble, gamble on never gambling again. Stake every ounce of will and win back your full self.